Doom and Destruction Collection presents Chopshop Barrage, and for some reason the Autobot Wrecker Malleus Minotaurus, who's a friggin' hammer. So these are two of the Deluxe Insecticons. But not only are we going to go over these, but we're going to talk about two more Deluxe Insecticon toys that I'll be breaking out shortly. And, well, is it really two more? One and a half? I'll show you what I mean. And I'll also have a plea for Hasbro. But this is a cool set. I'm going to break them out, go through them bit by bit, go through the others, and maybe it's something you want to get for your collection. Be right back. So, Doom and Destruction Collection. I'm going to break these guys out. It's a nice box. It shows the two Deluxe Insecticons and a kind of, monochrome colored Autobot, Battle Master, I guess. But he's a Wrecker, so, it's going to wreck you. Well, let's take these out. You can see the pictures on the back of the guys if you really want to, but we got the actual guys. So let's take a look, and that's them in their package. This is a shitty piece of paper. We're going to get rid of that. But as you can see, they've got Autobot paper. Do they not have Decepticon tissue paper? Come on, guys. And you can see the hammer and the two Deluxe Insecticons, which are retool, remolds, recolors of the other Insecticons, of course, because they like making profit. Now I'm going to use these handy scissors to remove the accessories, to snip these plastic ties. I guess the paper ones just didn't work as well. I don't know why they switched back exactly. I can understand why they want to put windows back, but the ties, I don't know why. Costs. But there we have Chopshop, who of course sounds like someplace you would take a stolen car or buy a Ginsu knife, and Barrage. And I think they're remolded, retooled from the same box. And there's a hammer. Oh, I sit on my table. All right, let's see what's in the accessory packet, and then let's get into these guys. But as I'm doing this, apparently Barrage is a remold, repaint of Bombshell, whereas Chopshop is a remold, repaint of Shrapnel, which is interesting because looking at their legs in the back, it looks like they're from the same mold, which definitely means that Shrapnel and Bombshell are mold mates as well. But I think we have some additional accessories for both of these guys, and with a hammer. Mjolnir! No, it's not Mjolnir. Really easy to lift. I'm worthy! So let's see where the accessories go. I could probably figure it out, but just want to go through. So it is a little bit different than the Insecticons they're based on, and damn, Chopshop has a big-ass weapon. Now, I don't know if I actually removed Shrapnel and Bombshell from their packages, because I think I was going to do some kind of BU versus the G1. I can't remember. So I don't recall Bombshell or Shrapnel having such a large weapon, but I could be wrong. But there they are, fully armed, and apparently the hammer you can put the blast effects on. You can even put them both on at once. Oh, we'll take a look at the hammer in a little bit. But let's start off with Mr. Car Thief with his big-ass gun. I mean, look at that thing. Though I imagine you could just separate it into two guns, maybe even... Yeah, that looks like about it. I don't see another post for him to put that in, but he could have two weapons or he could have one big-ass one. But a cool-looking representation of the G1 toy. Now, I know there are some people out there, I've been reading some stuff on the Reddits, and in comments too, that absolutely don't like G1ers. And I'm guessing that a G1er is someone who's like, G1 is supreme. See, I'm a big fan of G1. Without G1, there'd be no G2. No Beast Wars, so it started everything. But I will be the first to admit that a lot of the G1 toys, not the most posable. A lot of the newer toys definitely have a lot more playability, a lot more posability, and some better transformations. And a lot of times look more show accurate. Not always, but a lot of times. So I'm a really big fan of G1, and I have a lot of G1, and I encourage people to get G1. But at the same time, it has its flaws. So I don't know if that makes me a G1er because I like G1 so much. And I do wish Shockwave was a fucking gun. That would be nice. And I do wish there was a Megatron as a gun, other than the little itsy-bitsy ones that we get. That would be nice, but I understand laws and stuff. And the tank does make a little bit more sense than, a gun that he has to be fingered by somebody else. Shut up, Logan. But anyway, back to this G1 homage, which is Chopshop. So he is one of the Deluxe Insecticons. Now, the Deluxe Insecticons were from a different company and bought into the Transformers line when Hasbro was scrambling around to just expand the line as much as possible, because like Omega Supreme wasn't a Takara product. Obviously Jetfire wasn't, and nor were the Deluxe Insecticons. I don't think the Omnibots were either. You know, there's lots of Transformers in G1 in the first couple series that were not from Takara, and therefore Takara didn't actually have those Transformers. So I used to have all the Deluxe Insecticons. They went in the Purge, and for those who are new, the Purge is what I sold a huge amount. Most of my G1s, most of my G2s, lots of my Beast 4s and Beast Force Neo and Beast Force. It's painful what was lost in the Purge. I was young, I needed the money. But Chopshop was kind of like a different type of Insecticon. They 3 Insecticons that came first and were in the show. Very similar color schemes. These guys, these Deluxe Insecticons, all had very different color schemes. But he is actually a repaint of the newer Shrapnel. And you actually tell his gun is based on Shrapnel's here. And he is very susceptible to centrifugal force. But let's go over some posability. He is a nice looking figure. I enjoy him very much. And from his antennae to his heels, he's about 6 1/4 inches. So not bad. So we had to put the legs on. We've got these guns. I'm going to take the guns off while we go over posability. And he does have a nice Decepticon symbol right there, which is kind of cool. But first thing we usually do is we check out the full Jean-Claude Van Damme. And yes, he can do it without a problem. Crotch down, toes up. There you go. And of course, he can kick forward, and that's a pretty good high kick. Back kick, side kick, bends at the knee. Only 90 degrees, not more than that. Swivels. And speaking of swivels, he has ankle swivels, so you can put him in a nice wide pose. So, and you could swivel his leg a little bit more and really put him in some wacky dynamic poses. All right, he does twist it the waist all the way around, though he looks funky when you put him backwards. Now the arms, as far as going all the way around, they can, but you gotta watch out for the claw or whatever this is. So if you move it in, not a problem. And it can go off to the side, bend at the elbow, do a nice swivel around. Fists don't twist, no finger articulation there, which is not a big surprise, but very posable in the arms. And the bug leg kibble doesn't do too much, you know, it doesn't cause any interference. The head, you can now see the back of his head, and you can see the front. So it can go all the way around. These you can adjust in different configurations if you want. And so overall, posability, about what you would expect. If you have Shrapnel, then you are familiar with this articulation. But a nice looking bot, not too much kibble other than the legs and the claws and these legs here, but I mean, gotta have some in most cases with most Transformers. There's gonna be some indication. I mean, if they really went hog wild, they could probably figure out a brand new robot and like have everything hide away, and that would be friggin' amazing, but not the case with basically what's a deluxe in this 3-pack. All right, now transforming him into his beast mode. Okay, what the hell is he? What kind of bug? Not an entomologist. I don't know all this shit. In fact, I can't even be sure if I am saying entomologist right. I know Barrage is a robotic rhinoceros beetle, whereas this guy is a stag beetle. I'm going stag. Insect mode! So there is Chopshop in his stag beetle form, but I'm gonna actually swap out the weapon because I like symmetry. Maybe I'm a little OCD about that. But that way he's got 2 guns instead of 1, and it's not the same as Shrapnel's. But a cool looking bot, not posable in this form. I mean, these legs don't move. You can move the claws, that's pretty much it. These lower legs don't have any type of articulation, but it's still a nice representation of the original Chopshop. I like it. Roll test. No, we don't do roll tests with Insecticons. All right, Barrage. So Barrage, again, a nice representation of the G1 figure. He's got this cool gun that is very reminiscent, as I recall, because it does have Bombshell's gun, but these attachments, I'm not sure if those were in Bombshell's. So it's a nice way to distinguish his gun. But let's put that aside. Yeah, I gotta say his head seems a little better than the original ones. But there he is. Let's get a look from all sides. He does have a nice little Decepticon symbol on his chest. It's got the nice kind of lime green and, well, yellowish, almost greenish, and then the green, and then the little beady eyes. But this looking figure, let's talk about I have a feeling it's going to be virtually identical as far as posability because we got the same type of ankle swivels, the full toes up Jean-Claude Van Damme, kicking forward, kicking back. He does have the non-opening thing on his back, by the way, which is kind of a homage for Bombshell. Bends at the knee, same amount, side kicks, swiveling. The lower body pretty much is identical. A little easier to put the arms all the way around, bends at the elbow, swivels around, no articulation or on the fingers, no twisting of the fists. And the head cannot turn all the way around because he's got this big ass thing in the back and these weird shoulder pads. So he can turn from side to side though, which is nice. Better than, I think the original did not turn his head at all. I can't recall. It's been so long since I had him. If you have one and he can turn his head, then let me know. And I apologize for my mistake. But he's got these things that can move on his shoulders, put his arms out. Now, his arms can actually go further up than the joints on Chopshop. So a little bit different of articulation. But again, a good G1 reminiscent bot. And let's get him into his insect mode. So there is the rhinoceros beetle with his horn. Now you can take the weapons and it says you can put them together like his gun and stick them in one thing. I am wondering, it'll stay great, but you can put the two side pieces again for symmetry if you'd like. And he's got holes in his feet, so maybe we could just store the other gun back there. That's an idea. I did have a little bit of trouble getting these arms into the slots underneath, but I don't know if it's because the mold's been used a lot or just this one, but it was a little bit tricky, but I got them popped in. But yeah, so I guess these are legs here and those are legs. Not a lot of postability. I mean, you can move these legs a little bit if you want to have them like leaning forward, drinking, eating, going down on his looking down. Hey kids, family friendly. He's got the Mayhem Attack Squad symbol. Sure they both do. I found it on him. So yeah, Rhino Beetle, a little over 4 inches long. The Stag Beetles with his claws is like 5 1/4. I know I didn't measure him in robot mode. I'm not gonna bother. And yeah, I just checked the instructions because I don't like breaking things. All right, but I'm gonna just do without them for the hammer, which I'm going to review real quick, and then we're going to get to some other Deluxe Insecticons. So yeah, this hammer should be pretty easy to figure out. Malleus Minotaurus, he's got a Minotaur head. All right, why don't I check the instructions real quick, because it'd be stupid to transform everything else successfully, but not the fucking hammer. Okay, so there is Malleus Minotaurus in his Minotaur mode. He is a wrecker. I mean, he's actually pretty posable. Hey, look, full toes up, Jean-Claude Van Damme. And he's got a handle on the back, so you can like maneuver him. Arms go all the way around. There's no ankle swivels. Can turn the head, kinda. And you can make him walk and dance and flip. Cool little additional piece. And it changes into a hammer with a big ass tail. Whoever can lift Malleus Minotaurus actually has the ability to lift shit. Yeah. You'll not gain the power of Thor with this. No. All right. But who else do we got? There were 4 Deluxe Insecticons, and of course we had Ransack, who we got in a nice Creatures Collide, I think, set of the Buzzworthy Bumblebee. And yes, obviously a repaint, slight remold of Kickback. And he's got the sword arms, he's got the gun, and I do remember taking Kickback out, so yeah, it's pretty much the same except for the face. But a cool version of Ransack, who I believe is a locust. And super fast, because I think I did a Kickback video. Jean-Claude Van Damme, ankle swivels, kicking forward, kicking back, kick back, get it. Side kick, very nice, very high side kick. Bending at the knee, swiveling, all very good stuff. Arms going all the way around, twisting at the waist all the way around. I'm pretty sure the Barrage could do that too. Head can turn all the way around, though you gotta kind of maneuver the wings down because the antenna get in the way. The wings can move in various configurations. This ought to be neat to put them both forward and kill somebody. That could work. And he's got the non-opening chest thing that is a throwback to Kickback. So a very cool Locust Deluxe Insecticon that was with the Buzzworthy Bumblebee set. But let's check out its Locust mode, which, to be honest, is like a differently colored grasshopper. Now there is a nice thing about this and the Kickback mold is that there's a face cover, so you're not looking at his face. It's not obvious that he's actually a robot, except for the fact that he's a giant robotic locust. Now for the weapon storage, he's got the gun underneath and centered, so that's kind of nice. And the 2 swords become this massive growth between his legs. I can relate but it kind of, adds a little bit to his body. So, 3 of the Deluxe Insecticons. Can we have 4? Well, what was Hasbro's answer to the last one? Venom. This little motherfucker. Venin. Really? First of all, it's not the same colors. Not even close. And he's small. He's mini. And they couldn't use the name Venom because of Venom. I'm Venom. Rah! Eddie, I'm Venom. We can't let the Transformers come after us. Yeah! I'm hungry. But yes, this is Little Venin. But come on, Hasbro. Please. You can put up a deluxe size Venom. You can call him Venin if you want. We'll all call him Venom, but make something along the lines of the other guys. Give us our 4th Deluxe Insecticon in a good size. I mean, I could see it now. You got Chopshop and Barrage, who are members of the Mayhem Attack Squad, and Ransack shows up and he's like, "Hey guys, I see you're members of the Mayhem Attack Squad. Can I join?" "Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have you." "Cool. Hey guys, can I join?" "Go the hell back to Acid Storm, you little twerp." So yes, Venin came with Acid Storm as his weapon. He's a repaint. He's not even an original mold. He's a repaint of the little Waspinator that in this line, I think it was the Thrilling 30 line, but he was a repaint of Waspinator. Waspinator, happy to be here, who could become a gun and a wasp. So please, Hasbro, please use your capabilities to give us something for Venom that is not this little Target Master piece of shit that Acid Storm is carrying around. Please give us our 4th. I haven't heard any plans, but then again, there are people with their ears to the ground a lot more than I who they were like, "Hey, they're going to be doing Dead Brawn and Dead Ratchet too soon." And it's like, I mean, it was pretty obvious that they were going to do that, but, they had it confirmed. They have spies everywhere. I've got shit to do. I don't have time to be spying. I got to review toys for you guys. I got another YouTube channel. I'm busy. But, so there you have it. I don't know why I'm suddenly doing an Irish accent, but there you have the Deluxe Insecticons. All 3.5 of them. I mean, seriously, guys. Poor Venin. It's even got a horrible name. At least he gets to hang out with a pretty cool Transformer over here, but alright, I'm going to stop with the accent because I don't want to insult people in Ireland. And there are different Irish accents. That's just one, but there's different Irish, just as there's different English accents and different American accents. Golly. So, anyways, I'll put links in the description for the Doom and Destruction 3-pack, which includes the hammer. Don't forget the hammer. It's hammer time. And I will also put a link for the Creatures Collide set, or, you might be able to get him loose individually, and also the Acid Storm with Venin. So, I guess technically I have all 4. Splash you bug. But, yeah, I want something much better for my Venom. You understand? Alright, I'm gonna stop with the voices, because, it's just getting out of control. And you have my axe. So, I'll put links to all these guys in the description, and I hope you're having fun. As much fun as I have playing with these homages to G1 toys, even though I will admit G1 toys, some of them, they have a great nostalgia, but they're not nearly as posable as these guys. Well, these ones were actually pretty good compared to a lot of G1. But anyways, I hope you're enjoying this stuff. If you're enjoying this content, by all means, feel free to subscribe. And while you're mulling over these guys, I have a video over here you might want to check out, but it is the retro version of Kickback versus the original G1. So go check out some G1 stuff, why not? And we'll see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.